Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Aishada binti Muhammad Saridi and my groupmate is Putri Natasha, Nurul Atirah and Widya Nasifah. Today we will be presenting vaccination in Islamic perspective. As we all know, the COVID-19 outbreak has caused a shocking loss of life on a global scale and poses a new threat to food system, public health and economy. According to the World Health Organization, tens of millions of people face the possibility of falling into extreme poverty and the number of undernourished people continues to rise daily. Therefore, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC) have come up with various recommendations and precautions in response to the widespread of COVID-19 globally. Our vaccination is a useful strategy for preventing the illness and lowering fatality rates. Now, what is vaccine? Vaccine is a biological preparation of an agent that shares traits or characteristics with a disease-causing microorganism. The vaccines are created from the microbe's toxin, one of its surface proteins or dead forms of the microorganism, by a systematic manufacturing development process. This vaccine works quickly and effectively when the immune system is exposed to the disease-causing microorganism by inducing the formation of antibodies, which produces the immunity. Immunities will provide the protection from the disease for many months, years, or even a lifetime if the body has created an adequate quantity of antibodies. The content of a vaccine can be either the disease-causing microorganism that has been weakened or inactivated or killed, or some of the microorganism components such as inactivated toxin and fragments of bacterial cellular structure. There are 5 categories of vaccines, which are live attenuated vaccine, inactivated vaccine, recombinant vaccine, toxoid vaccine, and lastly conjugate polysaccharide protein vaccine.
Next, I will talk about what is vaccination in Islam and how is the Muslims' acceptance to vaccines. So what is vaccination in Islam? Vaccination is an efficient immunization approach for the preventative treatment represented by modern medicine, and it is parallel with life-saving rules according to Islamic law. And the legal issue of halal vaccinations is explained by 2 schools of thinking. So first off, any product, including vaccinations that contains unclean materials during production, is prohibited for human consumption. Yet, if such a condition exists in a darurah, the product is permitted. But the second thought is, a product is halal to ingest even if it contains unclean components, as long as the filthy have undergone istihala and istilaq processes. So as a result of the change in substance, istihala is a natural process that transforms one legal position. So when a haram substance or unclean substance undergoes a change in its chemical composition, it transforms into a new substance with different name and set of qualities. But however, there are scholars who insist on this method. But how about the Muslims' acceptance to vaccines? In whatever scenario, acceptance of vaccines have always been difficult in many Muslim nations, because many Muslims continue to strongly oppose vaccination on religious grounds, particularly in more conservative Muslim communities. So the possible main reasons might be the Muslims who choose not to receive vaccinations commonly cite concerns about the vaccine's halal quality, and then the distinctions of opinions among the religious scholars, and doubts in the effectiveness and safety of the new vaccines. Accordingly, these notions has a significant impact on Muslim health practices to the point where it creates difficult moral decisions for the healthcare industry. So in this situation, the Islamic scholars play very important roles to influence the attitudes of the Muslims towards vaccines, because Islam offers broad prescription for medication and medical care to its adherents. However, on a positive note, the high amount of reluctance due to safety doubt indicates that people demand assurance of its efficacy before administering a vaccine. So these results demonstrate how crucial it is to tell the public about the new vaccine's effectiveness and safety in order to increase public acceptance.
Given that vaccination is a contemporary issue, there is no specific provision in the Holy Quran or Hadith that addresses vaccination-related issues that can serve as guidance for Muslims. So it appears that the Muslim community relies on fatwas and viewpoints of mufti to determine whether vaccines are permissible. There are a lot of opinions from Islamic scholars as mentioned before. For example, whether the vaccine is categorized as permissible. Firstly, let's know the difference of harus and haram. Harus or mubah refers to a deed with no objection according to Islamic rulings and granted reward if being done. So a person has freedom as there is no sin in doing or abandoning them. Next, haram refers to a forbidden deed based on Islamic rulings. There is a sin for committing it. So for harus hukum, it is known that vaccination acts as precautionary step that needs to be carried out to reduce the chances of community being infected by the fatal illnesses and diseases. Furthermore, it is crucial and necessary as prior treatment. With regards to this, in order for Muslims to consume the vaccines without violating Sharia law, the vaccines contents must be halalan thayyiban as well as safe, as mentioned in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 168. O mankind, eat from whatever is on earth that is lawful and good, and do not follow the footsteps of Satan. Indeed, he is to you a clear enemy. Haram refers to vaccines that contain any ingredients prohibited by Sharia law, therefore cannot be consumed by the Muslim community. This refers to vaccines that have been found to contain non-halal ingredients such as porcine gelatin, saliva, and other potentially harmful substances. Based on hadith of Prophet Muhammad SAW, Allah has sent down both the disease and the cure, and He has appointed a cure for every disease. So treat yourselves medically, but use nothing unlawful. Sunan Abu Dawud. However, according to the Sharia law, the viewpoint of vaccine hukum that contradicts with the principle of halalan thayyiban can be changed from forbidden to permissible. In this case, the ruling can be changed based on the urgency to take the vaccine during an emergency or darurah to prevent greater harm, with conditions of: first, when there is no alternative medication or precaution is available aside from haram vaccine at that time; second, taken as necessity rather than comfort, and having no other Sharia compliant means to prevent great harm; third, no other least harmful options that least contradict with Islam's fundamental principle.
Next, I will proceed to the process that need to be followed if vaccine is allowed by Islam. The manufacture of the vaccine is achieved from the propagation of living organisms. Some of these may be dangerous human pathogens. Therefore, the manufacture of vaccine is conducted in a highly regulated and controlled environment. All vaccine manufacturers are subject to the national and international regulatory control and must comply with specifications for good manufacturing practice (GMP) to ensure the products are safe for use in humans, and also the identity, strength, quality, and purity of the products consistently meet regulatory. In general, the productions of vaccine involve 4 basic steps, which are propagation, isolation, purification, and formulation. For the first step is propagation, which is the cell culturing process involving multiplication or amplification of the living organisms or pathogens that used in the vaccine. The pathogens protein or DNA are grown and harvested in growth media, primary cell or cell lines. For the next step is isolation, which is the process of separating the living organisms from the cell or growth media that used in the propagation step. And the third step is purification, which is the process of removing all material that may be adhering to the isolated organisms or selectively separates the portion of the living organism to be used in the vaccine to produce a high quality vaccine product. Microorganism inactivation and polysaccharide conjugation also happen during this step. And the last step is formulation, which is a process that involves mixing the purified product in solutions to obtain a desired concentration by adding components such as diluents, preservative, and stabilizer to ensure the sterility of the product over a longer period of time, or to prevent cross-contamination during dose extraction from vials. And at the end of the manufacturing process, vaccines are typically filled in vials or syringes and packaged for shipping.
Now, to summarize, the general ruling pertaining to the vaccine permissibility is harus, which is permissible. It is haram and forbidden to be consumed if the vaccine contains substances that are non-halal, unsafe, and not good. However, when a person in an emergency situation, which is darurat, where no other alternatives are available, such hukum can be changed from haram to mubah. It is vital that a technology's advancement, especially in the healthcare system, which in this context the development of vaccines, can be justified in order to provide pragmatic benefits to all humanity. Preserving life is synonymous with preserving religion according to Islam. So all parties should join forces to increase the awareness of this vaccination development, as it may influence vaccination uptake. That's all from us. Thank you.